Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Halifax Raiders Drive to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we had the season simulation, and we have made the playoffs again with a 51-25-6 record, and once again, we were the best defensive team in the NHL, so that's 3 consecutive seasons, I think, almost, because we had 2 years in a row where we won the Vezina Trophy with Burkov, and now this season we won the Jennings with both our goalies. So it's been an incredible last few years in terms of defensive play, but we made the playoffs again, and we're going to be taking on a Detroit team, which obviously has fallen off quite a bit since we played them last, I think, in the playoffs, which I don't remember how long ago that was at this point, but we are going to be taking on Detroit in the playoffs, so that should be interesting. I'm kind of hoping that our team goes on a little bit of a good run in the playoffs, considering the fact that we finished the season off on a 4-5-1 record, so maybe we'll have a good playoff run because our last 10 games weren't super good. But let me give you guys a brief overview of what happened during the regular season, and I'll show you guys what Detroit is looking like, and then I'll get into your guys' comments, and we will get ready for the first round, which should be exciting. But you can see Mauricio Williams still had 99 points at the age of 37. He has not dropped down yet in overall, but he likely will after the season ends, my guess. But who knows? This could be his last NHL season. I'm hoping it's not. I think he could probably play another few years, but he could end up retiring. We also have guys like Ahinen, who's 33, who's getting close. Probably not for a few more years, I would guess. Sherov is 35. I would assume he's going to be retiring within the next few years. We have Lehman, who's 35. He could be retiring next season, maybe something like that. But you could definitely see that our team is getting on that older spectrum. But we do have a bunch of younger guys kind of making their names, like Charles Raymond, who's 26. We have like guys like Hamalainen, who's only 29. So there is still that kind of like second wave of players, which is nice. From a defensive standpoint, in last episode, we gave an 8-year extension to Marty Cardwell because he's a top defenseman, so we decided to sign him long-term. But you can see like Maddox Boyes is 33, Kolesnik is 36. So there is a bunch of guys on this team that are definitely getting close to that retirement portion, which is not great. But at least Burkov's only 27, so he's still not going to probably be one of those guys that end up retiring in this series. And Budens is only 24, so our goaltending is relatively young. But it was a good season for the team, and now we're going to be taking on Detroit, which obviously in the past I think we had some problems with them, especially in the second round. But obviously, like I said, they have dropped off a lot since then. Like there's no more Dylan Larkin, no more Alex DeBrincat, that type of thing. But let me show you guys what their roster is looking like. The only piece that I think is still there is this Ralph Winterberg guy, who's 34. He's been a career-long Detroit Red Wing, and he's been a pretty good one. He's a very good two-way forward, and obviously I think he's Swedish, or is he German? Oh, he's German, okay. I thought he was Swedish for some reason. I don't know why. Winterberg sounds like it could be either a Swedish or German last name, but anyways, this guy's a very good two-way forward. There's a good chance that this guy might be the Selke winner this season. They also have guys like Lupul, so they have some good complementary players, but you can definitely see they're a little bit weaker on the depth side of things than us, which kind of scares me that they might be a cheese team. And then from a defensive standpoint, they're led by Axel Sandin Pellikka, who somehow managed to eclipse 65 points as a 37-year-old who's only an 80 overall. So I don't know what's with this team. They did get a lot of offense from some guys you wouldn't really expect to, but their defensive score is not super good. Their goaltending is kind of mid, and yeah, their offense has some good players, but it's not very good either. So I'm hoping that we have a good chance at beating them, but at the same time, we could get cheesed because we know how this game operates. So anyways, let's get to your guys' comments now and see what you guys have to say about our season simulation. So the first comment is from Flame Husky, who says, so an 80 overall defender who is 37-year-old leads the league in defensive scoring is nuts. Speaking of that, can you go to player search and look up the best defenders in the league? I have a feeling that defensive overalls have tanked. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because I am actually kind of curious, because I think probably based on the contract demands that some players have definitely, like the defensive players that are in free agency, there's guys that are probably like 80 overall that are top 4, that type of thing. So let's go to all positions here and go to defense, and then I guess we want to change this all the way up to, let's go 4 to 5 star, I guess, and medium to low accuracy. And that should give us the top players in the league, and we'll just sort by overall here at this point. So, okay, there is some 91 overalls that are probably listed as top 2s, my guess, right? Yeah, top 2s, okay. But the question is, what about like top 4s and stuff like that? Like, are these 87s listed as top 2s as well? No, they're listed as top 4s, okay. So maybe it's still around the same. 88 looks like to be the starting point of top 4. Or top 2, my bad. Because you can see Harima's here's an 88 and he's listed as a top 2. Meanwhile, Foligno is an 87 and he's listed as a top 4. So, seems like 88 and above is top 2 defenseman. 87. Let's see, what else would be listed as top 4? What's the lowest that's a top 4? 81 still a top 4 technically. What about 80? 80's listed as a top 4 too. So seems like, oh wow, some 79s are even listed as top 4, some are top 6. So it's probably like 79 to 87 is the top 4 in some stages that they're top 4. But like you can see with the Sterling guy, he's listed as a top 4. It could be morale that he's down low, but but like a lot of 79s are probably top 6. So it could be like 80 to 87 is the top 4, and then 79 to, or 70 something to 79 is the top 6. Like probably. Okay, that's a depth defenseman. What about 77? Depth defenseman. Okay, so it's probably like 78, 79 is top 6. Maybe even 80 is top 6 in some stages. And then like 76 and stuff like that is depth defenseman. Because like say, even this guy that's a free agent who's only a 76 is listed as a depth defenseman. So it is a little bit weaker, I'd say, but it's not astronomically weaker than we've seen in like year number 1. The next comment is from Michael Dosis. Says, at what point is Sherov someone you finally drop? 74 scratch taking a space for someone you possibly better. And I don't think Sherov is going to get dropped until he retires. You might be kind of like, some of you might think I'm kind of crazy for doing that. But the thing is with Sherov is we know that if we get him into a top line as a depth forward, he will produce really well. Like this guy, even though he's like dropped off a cliff, he had 4 assists in 6 games. Yes, he was a -4, but he brought that offense still, and that's kind of what he is. He's an offensive depth forward. Last year, he had 8 points in 13 games as a depth forward. He shows that he can still put up points in the AHL level as well, so I don't mind holding on to him as a depth forward, even though he's only a 74. Like I said, I think he will retire soon, though, as well, because of the fact that he's dropped off a lot, but he's got good offensive awareness, good passing, so as a depth forward, he should be able to produce if he gets thrown into a spot. Like, say, if Bernard Boucher went down, he would be a perfect fit for that top line, I think, so I don't see much of a problem using him as a depth forward. The next comment is from Sandro Otaku. It says, not too broken up about losing Sims on waivers. Ozens deserves a shot with the big club. Put him on the third line with either Raymond or Hartman. Whoever has played better. Move the one not playing with Ozens to the fourth line and scratch/send down Dodge. And yeah, Dodge might be the one that gets sent down. But we were kind of like discussing stuff, and he said that I could do Hartman instead. It's really tough to decide who I would send down because Dodge had 22 goals this year, was a +20, so he was actually pretty good on the defensive end, but he is a fourth line sniper, which is not the best in a sense. He was saying to either, yeah, or with Hartman. With Hartman would probably be better. We would probably have to send Raymond to the fourth line in that spot that where Dodge is, so yeah, I guess we could do that. Or we could just send down one of the depth forwards, like I could send down Heikkila and call him up, and then we'd probably scratch somebody else. So yeah, we're going to probably send Heikkila down, and we will call up Ozens, because Ozens has developed into being a very good player already at the AHL level, so might as well call him up because he's already listed as a third-line scoring forward. Jacobson is also getting close, so we have a lot of AHL guys that are getting close to the NHL level, which is kind of nice to have that replenishing factor. So Heikkila will get sent down, Ozens will come up, and Ozens is a little bit nervous. Obviously, he should be nervous considering this is the NHL playoffs, but he is going to get an opportunity here to showcase his skill, because might as well. And we'll send Raymond to the fourth line. We'll send Dodge out of this team for now. You know, Dodge was decent. He'll be there in case of injury. And Ozens will play with Delavere and Hartman, which should be good. We'll also check the power play lines here briefly. Yeah, I guess we'll keep this part the same. I was thinking of maybe getting Ozens some power play time, but I don't think there's really much of a chance for me to get him there. What about extra lines? Let's see if I could find a way to get him some extra time here. Not really. And that's okay. He's only a rookie, but still, him getting a chance to play with Delavere should help out a lot. And he's got very good passing and offensive awareness. Like, I'm almost tempted to drop like somebody like Boucher to like a third line and then putting Wilm down the middle with Ozens and Lehman, but not going to do that yet. So there is that. The next comment is from Ezra Hambrook, who says 19 seasons in the books now for the Halifax Raiders, and they inch ever close to evening out their franchise record, which now stands at 7-12, 7-46, and 110. The series is reaching its eventual end, so it's now or never for the Raiders to pick up their pieces and get the job done. And yeah, hopefully this is the year for our team to win a Stanley Cup. Obviously, if it doesn't happen, I think the window probably closes after this season, potentially because of the retirements and stuff like that we might suffer. But at the same time, at least we've had like a pretty good run with this team during the regular season, I'd say. Like, we've been a really good regular season team, especially in a defensive standpoint. And then the last and final comment is from Logan May, who says Willem ties Messier in points for third all time. He now surpasses Gretzky 16th in assists. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's not the exact thing as what it is in this universe, concerning there's guys like Austin Matthews and McDavid who've had a lot of points, but still, Willem has been definitely one of the best players I've ever had. And yeah, he should be easily a first ballot Channel Hall of Famer at this point in time. I don't know who else from the series would be, but anyways, let's get into this playoff matchup with the Detroit Red Wings. We've been talking enough, and my voice is kind of sore because I was at the Sens game last night as of, it was Monday on the 29th against the Nashville Predators, so my voice is a little bit sore, but I wasn't screaming too much because still kind of getting over that cold I had like 2 weeks ago, which is kind of ridiculous at this point. But let's see what Ozens could do in his playoff debut. See if he could maybe spark the team a little bit, bring in some of that AHL level talent, because the AHL team is also in the Calder Cup playoffs, so hopefully they have a good run as well, and hopefully sending down Heikkila could help out the offense down there a little bit. Obviously, losing Ozens for that team is going to hurt a bit, but hopefully he could help us out quite a bit up here. Let's see what happens. Game number 1 on home ice. See if we could take a 1-0 series lead. We have home ice advantage for most of the playoffs, likely, depending on how far we go. First period of game number 1. And it is 1-0 Detroit. Not great, but not terrible. As Card scores on Burkov, the shots are 13-8 in favor of us. So we're outplaying them, but so far not off to the best of starts. We have not found a way to score yet. Obviously, we could turn to Budens at some point in the playoffs, but I don't know if I will. Budens had a really good regular season with like a .920 save percentage, so there is a chance that we might play Budens at some point, but obviously I would probably rather lean towards Burkov because Burkov has been the guy the last few years, but we could obviously make some goaltending changes because we do have also goalie in the minors that we could call up. We obviously lost Sims to waivers in the last episode, so down 1-0 after 1. Let's see if our offense could find a way to get a goal back in the second period, please. Second period. It is still 1-0 Detroit. So far we're kind of getting a little bit stifled offensively, which is kind of a surprise with the offensive talent we have. Obviously, we weren't the best offensive team during the regular season. We were the best defensive team, though, so we're kind of playing our typical game, but we need to find a way to score on them, obviously, too. Shots are 24-18 in favor of us, but we have not found a way to score yet. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the third period? And I don't know why it says there's 20:01 left, but I will not question it. Maybe that gives us an extra second to get back into this game, and Card scores again on the power play. It's 2-0 Detroit, but a power play goal back from Mauricio Wilm, and then Vitaly Kolsnik, and then Stella Rivera. Holy crap, okay. I barely had time to talk through all that, but 3 of our older guys all score. All of them are in the 30-plus club, which is crazy, and we have the first lead of the game. Can we lock this game down now? Come on, boys, you got this. Yes, we can. Habscheid, the empty netter. What a game. Okay. That's the type of game I would like to see our team play. Obviously, being down 2-0 early in the third was not a great thing, but the fact that Mauricio had an answer for us and then the rest of the team showed up as well is very good. Obviously, the shots being 36-28 as well. We outshot them. We outplayed them. We managed to finally find ways to score goals late, and we managed to get that win. And it was a good defensive effort again and good goaltending effort, so I will definitely take that for a Game 1 victory. Really happy with that, except for the start, I would say, considering we didn't score all the way till the third period. But hopefully we could get going a little bit earlier next game, like in the first period, find a way to score a goal. So Wilm from Lehman and Ahin and Kolsnik from Boucher and Wilm, Del Rivera from Hartman, and Ozens picks up an assist in his first game. So shout out to Mr. Ozens. Maybe he'll become a really good playoff player for us. Habscheid from Cardwell and Hamalainen. So Ozens with an assist already. Love to see it. Wilm gets first star, Card the second star, and Burkov gets third star of the game. Let's go. So yeah, the fact that Ozens already had a point is great. Obviously, he's going to help bring some more offense to our team a little bit, which is good. And then, like I said, eventually down the road, if we obviously lose somebody like Wilm to retirement before the series ends, Ozens could get a big opportunity to be a very good top 6 player to set up any of the snipers we have on our team, like Habshide, if they stay around, that type of thing. So, very happy with that. I think we got to keep the team the exact same for game 2. No point making adjustments when we just won a game. So let's see if we could take a 2-0 series lead. We are still on home ice. It would be nice to have both these wins heading to Detroit. So let's see if we could do it. Come on, boys. Let's get the offense going a little bit earlier this time around, though. Not waiting until the third period if possible. First period of game number 2. And it is 3-2 for us. Okay, great offense, but Burkov, I'm not really too sold on that first period, to be honest. 2 goals on 12 shots, and it's not terrible, I guess. Could be a lot worse. We have 3 goals on 16, so they scored first. Morales, then De La Rivera tied it up. Pakishlati gave them the lead, but then Boucher and the Layman have given us back the lead, so, or actually given us the lead for the first time in this one. Shots are 16-12. It's a 3-2 game, so this looks like a goaltending nightmare right now. But who knows, maybe a second period will be a little bit more quiet. Second period. 5-2 us. That's huge. Ozens again. Let's go. Ozens picks up his first ever playoff goal. He's already got 2 points in this playoff run. That is huge. And De La Rivera scores to make it a 5-2 game. We're outshoot him 28-25. And we're a period away from going up 2-0 in the series. Let's see what happens in this third. See if we could lock it down. Lopel makes it 5-3. That's not ideal. At least it's still enough time to get some insurance. Penalty kill. Please kill it off, boys. Thank you. Power play for us. We do not score on it this time around. Final 5 minutes of this third period. Still up by a pair of goals, which makes me feel a little bit safer. And we are going to hold them off. And we have taken a 2-0 series lead to Detroit. Another pretty solid effort. I wouldn't say the goaltending was great by any standard, but the fact that we scored 5 goals again, our offense is showing up when it needs to, which is great. So let me change my face over to here. It's a nice little win there. So De La Rivera from Ozens and Hartman, Boucher from Layman and Wilm, Layman from Boucher and Wilm, Ozens from De La Rivera and Hartman, De La Rivera from Wilm. So pretty much the same type of people got points in that game. So it was like the third line and the first line, I think. So yeah, De La Rivera with a 3-point night, Wilm with a 3-point night. You had Hartman, Boucher, and Ozens and Layman all on 2 points, and nobody else had a point. So the same kind of guys all assisted on each other's goals and all that, which is kind of cool. And the only minus pairing was Cracknell and Fragapane, our 77 overall defenders. But we have a 2-0 series lead. De La Rivera first star of the game. He also had 5 hits, which is kind of crazy. Wilm the second star with 3 assists, and Ozens the third star. So far, Ozens is over point per game in his first 2 games. And he's a third liner, which is pretty crazy. So just think about what he would be able to do if he was playing next to somebody like Mauricio. But obviously right now that's Bernard Boucher's territory. So we have a 2-0 series lead headed to Detroit. Might as well keep the team the exact same again. Honestly, there's no point for us to make changes. It's been pretty close these first 2 games, to be honest, though. We're only outscoring them 9-5. So it is pretty tight, but obviously who knows what happens on the road in Detroit. So hopefully we could keep on building upon these last few games and give ourselves a better chance to close out the Red Wings. Come on, boys. Game number 3 in Detroit. Can we win on the road as well? Or are we just going to be a team that wins on home ice only? First period of game number 3. 1-0 us. That's a good start defensively, and also we find the offense Hamalainen, but the only goal. The shots are 13-5, so pretty good first period. Got a lot of shots, and our goaltending did not have to face a lot of shots, which might be good, might not be at the same time, because most goalies like to get warmed up in games, so he might be still a little bit cold. So hopefully he doesn't allow anything in this second period, and hopefully our offense could get maybe some more insurance. Second period. It is 2-1 Detroit, and that's exactly what I thought when I said that we were outshooting them badly and we were only up 1-0. Like I said, Burkov might not have been warmed up enough, and we end up allowing 2 goals on 12 shots in that second period, and now we're trailing going into the third as Card and Wennerberg score. Not ideal, but at least it's still a decent defensive game, but we need to find a way to tie this game up. Their goaltenders right now playing pretty good with 1 goal only allowed on 23 shots. Can we find a way to tie this game up in this third period and maybe get it to an overtime scenario? Hey, Hamalainen again. Let's go. That's a very early goal too. Less than a minute in. That's a good way to start a third period. Power play for us. We do not capitalize on it. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead. Let's get that lead. Final 5 minutes of the third period, tied at 2. And it looks like we are going to be going to overtime in Game 3. So for the first time, we're going to overtime with them. Shots are 35-20 in favor of us, so we're dominating the flow, but their goaltender has kept them in the game pretty much at this stage. Can we find a way to get that OT winner and take a commanding 3-0 series lead? Let's see what happens. Who wants to be that OT hero for us? Penalty kill in overtime. Thank you. And then we score right afterwards. Let's go. I don't know who it was. It was Reese Della Rovere, who's been one of our best playoff performers the last few years. And we win 3-2. We're 1 win away from knocking out Detroit in the first round. We outshot them 38-21. So their goaltender definitely deserves a little bit of props for keeping his team in the game. But we do win another close game. So Hamalainen from Habscheid and Ahinen. And then Hamalainen from Boucher and Lehman. And then you had Della Rovere from Ozens and Cardwell. So Ozens continues his point streak. He's up to 4 points in 3 games to start this playoff run, which is awesome. Hamalainen first star, Winterberg the second star, and Della Rovere the third star. But yeah, Ozens has been really good. I was definitely thinking about calling him up when at the end of last episode, but I wasn't sure really where we wanted to slot the guy in. And so far, he's been doing really well with Della Rovere especially. Like, he hasn't been necessarily setting up Hartman a lot, but he definitely has been working good with Della Rovere, which is very beneficial to our team. Okay, so we're 1 win away from knocking out the Red Wings already and going to that second round. Florida's also up 3-0. Columbus up 3-0. Montreal up 2-1. You have Calgary up 2-1. Not a surprise on that front. Dallas is up 3-0. Chicago's up 2-1. And Seattle is up 2-1. All right. Let's move our face down here, and let's get to Game 4. Let's keep the team the exact same. So far, everything's been decent. Let's see if we could close out Detroit and get ourselves to that second round. Come on, boys. You got this. First period of game number 4. Down 2-0 after 1. That's definitely our worst start yet, I'd say. Gibson and Pakishlati. We have came back from down 2-0 before, and that was in Game 1, so hopefully we could have a good response in the second period. We are being outshot 15-10, so you know Detroit was going to come out firing considering they're down 0-3. Definitely the pressure is all on them, so definitely you'd see them definitely trying to get back into the series. So hopefully we could have a good second period and maybe claw ourselves back into this game. Let's see what happens. Second period. Okay, that's exactly what I kind of wanted. Like I said, claw back into the game. It doesn't have to be all at once. Lehman with a goal to pull us within 1. Shots are 22-21 in favor of us, and we're down by a goal. We have a chance to tie this game up in the third period. Let's see if we could do it. Let's get it done, boys. Come on. Let's get it done. Penalty kill. Stop taking penalties, please. Thank you. Can we find a way to tie this game up? Let's see what happens in his final 10 minutes of the third period. Still down by a goal. Come on, guys. You got this. I know you do. Mauricio. Ozens. Somebody. And we are unfortunately going to lose a tight game 2-1. So another close game with Detroit. So if we didn't win last game, honestly, like we would be tied at this point in time. It was a very close game the last 2 games, so I'm a little bit scared about that in a sense, but that was a decent game from our goaltending, and our offense didn't really show up like it normally has, so that's a bit scary. Hopefully we can find a good way to respond to that in the next game. So Lehman with the only goal from Wilm and Della Rovere. So Della Rovere continues to be our best player probably here, but yeah, that Boutin guy has been very good the last 2 games. I really hope that he isn't catching a heater all of a sudden and reverse sweeps us, because that would be very detrimental to my confidence in the series. Okay. So we have a 3-1 series lead headed home. Komatov in the AHL has fractured his left elbow. Oof. That does not sound very fun. How's the AHL team doing, speaking of which? They actually won. They won the first round against Cleveland. Their only loss coming in overtime. So shout out to the AHL team who will be going to the second round. Hopefully our NHL team can join them there shortly. I don't know if I should make any adjustments yet or not, because we've been playing pretty good. It was just one hiccup obviously in the road, but our offense needs to be a little bit better here. Just trying to think of what we could do if I want to do anything. Wow, Ozens jumped to an 84. What the hell is going on? Yeah, he's got to stay on that line, though. That line's been fantastic so far. But I think at some point I honestly might try Willem, Lehman, and Ozens. But Ozens is listed as a second line forward already. Jeez. This guy was literally just drafted a year ago in the 4th round. And he's already this good. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Like, we almost don't need to re-sign somebody like Hamalainen in a sense because he's a replacement to him. Wow. Okay, well, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that from Ozens to develop that fast. We're going to keep the team the exact same at this point. But let's see if Ozens can find a way to get back on the offense. So obviously, last game he didn't have any points, and maybe that's why we lost. So it would be nice to see him show up here in Game 5. So back on home ice. We won both games prior to this on home ice. Can we close out Detroit, or are we going to a Game 6 back in their building? Come on, boys. First period. 2-0 Detroit again. Oh, man, I feel like we might get reverse swept at this point. I don't know. I don't have confidence in this team right now for some reason. Walters and Gomez make it 2-0 after 1. So that's the exact same thing that happened last game. And our offense has definitely dried off a lot since that OT winner. Their goaltender has also been playing a lot better than we were expecting in these last few games too. So I don't like that at all. Hopefully we could find a way to get some response in the second period. Like, even get one goal just like last game, but find a way to tie that up in the third period. Don't do what you did last game. Second period. 2-1. That's exactly the same thing as last game. Another power play goal. This one from Hartman. So good to see Hartman on the board. We're out shooting him 30-19. So their goaltender Booten is all of a sudden like playing like a prime, I don't know, Martin Brodeur. Because even that game we won in overtime, he was really good. And in his last 2 games, he's also been very good. And so I don't like that at all. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the third period, unlike last game? Actually, no, last game we did tie it up, and then no, we didn't tie it up. I'm thinking of the overtime win we had, but we need to find a way to tie this up in the third period here. Because if we lose this game, there's a lot of pressure on us game 6 in Detroit, which I don't like. So, come on, boys. Let's tie this one up. Mauricio, I know you have goals in you. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Come on, guys, please. Just give me that tying goal. I am not feeling very safe with our team right now. Come on, Reese Del Rivera, Ozens, somebody on the team. Lehman. We lose the exact same score as last game. I think we're going to get cheesed here. It feels like we're getting cheesed. Back-to-back games where we only score 1 goal in it. So we are going to make some adjustments now, because now is the time to try some stuff drastically to get our team back into this. Because right now there's a lot of pressure on our team, and I don't like it. Burkov was great in that game, but Booten's been insane the last 2 games. Or last 3 games even, for that matter. And if we lose this game, we go to a Game 7 after we were up 3-0. This literally looks like the type of series we would get reverse swept in based on the last 2 games. So we definitely need to find a way to change the logic of this game. Let's edit our lines and see if we could close out Detroit in their building. I think we're going to try my top line that I wanted to try. So Wilm, Lehman, and we'll go Ozens on the left side, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, we'll do that since they're on their off wings. That looks actually pretty nice. Second line wise, Ahinen has done jack shit, really. So I'm going to put Boucher. I'm going to put Del Rivera. And I'm going to put Hartman. Third line wise, we're going to do Ahinen, Hamalainen, and Habscheid. And that's pretty much it. So it's a little bit reworked, but I want to give Ozens a big opportunity here. Might as well. So that's the new look law line. It used to be Ahinen on that top line. And then Boucher gets to play with Del Rivera, so he still gets a very good teammate. Not as good as Willem, but still. And then from a defensive standpoint, we've been pretty good. So I don't think there's really much I would do defensively to change up things. So we'll keep that the same. And yeah, Burkov has been very good. But the team is not scoring enough right now. So we'll see what Ozens can do on that top line. And that's the only adjustment we're going to make. Because we need to find a way to get that offense back to where it was. Because if it doesn't find itself in this game, there's a chance that we could get reverse swept here. And then at that point, I will be very mad because this game wants to crap on me even more so. But hopefully that's not the case. Can we close out the Red Wings in Detroit? Or are we going to a Game 7 is the question. I don't want to go to a Game 7. Please, boys. Don't do this to me. I think we're going to do a real-time simulation because we're getting into that scary territory. So Let's see if we can get this game started with an early goal if possible. But having Ozens on that top line is very exciting. We do score first. It's Lehman. That's a 5-on-5 goal. There's a chance Ozens maybe got an assist on that goal. Good way to start it off. Considering the last few games, we haven't had the lead after the first period, so we've been trailing 2-0 usually after one. And we are going to be up 1-0 after one with the shots 15-7. So Booten is keeping his team in this game. He's been a very good goaltender these last 4 games. And yeah, that's very terrifying that their team is still in this game because of him. Can we get some insurance in the second period to make me feel a little bit safer, please? Come on, guys. Hey, Mauricio. Let's go. 2-0. That's a huge goal, but they get an answer back from Lupul. But good to see Mauricio on the board. He hadn't scored in a while, so that's good. Come on, boys. Let's get some insurance. Power play for us. We do get a power play goal as well, again, from Alan Lehman. So our power play has been clicking on all cylinders these last 3 games. I think we have like 4 power play goals in the last while. So shots are 24-19 in favor of us. We're up by 2 goals going into the third, looking to close out the Red Wings. Can we do it is the question. I quickly have to actually put out the Jets episode because I'm recording this and I forgot about tweeting it because it's past 11 a.m. now at this point in time. So bear with me. I know I don't normally put this into the episode, but I am going to just put it in anyways. There we go. Boom. And we're good to go. Okay. Let's see if we can lock down Detroit now. It's 3-1. Can we hold them off and win the series in 6 games after he gave us a little bit of a scare these last while? Morales makes it 3-2. Oh, geez, that's not great. Do we have a response for that, boys? We always got to have a response if possible. Power play for us, and we get another power play goal. That's our 3rd power play goal of the night by Haken this time. And then Habscheid scored, Cardwell scores. There's the offense I was looking for the last 2 games. Hartman makes it 7-2. And we are going to take out the Red Wings in 6 games. We got a little bit of a scare, but we found our offense again in that last game, and our defensive play was there too. And we destroyed them. A lot of power play goals really helped out for our team. 7 goals on 38 shots to their 2 on 24. And we will be going to the second round, which is huge. So Lehman from Wilm and Ahin, and Wilm from Lehman and Del Rivere. Lehman from Hartman and Wilm. Haken from Raymond and Hamalainen, Habscheid from Hamalainen, Cardwell's first from Hartman and Boucher, and Hartman from Del Rivere and Boucher. So it looks like Boucher is doing well with Del Rivere as well. First star of the game, Lehman with 3 points, Wilm the second star with 3 points, and Hartman the third star with 3 points as well. Let's take a look at those point totals. Yeah, a lot of guys on multiple points, a couple guys on 1 point, and then you have a couple guys with nothing. So it's interesting. Not really any badly minus guys either. But I'd say Del Rivera was definitely one of our best players in that first round. Him and Mateo Burkov. Burkov's been very good. Okay, so that was an interesting series. Definitely didn't think we were going to win that after we lost 2 games in a row where we didn't score. But that was a huge answer in Game 6. And it is nice to get ourselves back to the second round again. Let's take a look at our player stats after round 1. Then we'll see who we're facing in the second round. So, in terms of player stats here, so Mauricio was great, 9 points in 6 games. He was -2, but that's okay. Hartman on 7 points in 6 games is fantastic. Boucher on 6 points. Ahinen only on 3, but that's still decent enough. And nothing from Ricardo Richter, which is not great. Hopefully he plays a little bit better. Maybe, yeah, it says ice time. That's probably making him suffer a little bit. Left wing wise, Lehman had 9 points so far. 17 penalty minutes. I don't really like his aggressiveness, but the 9 points is great. Hamalainen on 5 points. Ozens on 4 points is great. Habscheid on 3. Haken on 1 goal. And then we have Del Rivera on 9 points, which is fantastic. And Raymond on 1 assist. So everybody on the forward core had a point in the first round. Defensively, Cardwell with 3 points. Kolsnick with 1 point. Boys on nothing. Same with Cracknell, Booze, Fragapane. Fragapane and Cracknell were definitely our worst pairing, which you would expect considering both of them are 77s. Maybe we want to put Wilson in instead of one of the 2 of them. That might be a best play for our team. But Mateo Burkov was fantastic. He's doing what he did when we got all the way to the Cup Finals. 4-2 with a .921 save percentage and 2.28 goals against. He was really good in that first round victory. So shout out to Burkov for once again being a very, very good goaltender. Okay, so we are going to the next round. Kind of cool that our top guys are all 9 points in 6 games. Hopefully that continues into round number 2. The question is, who are we playing in round 2? Is it a team is it a team we've played before, or is it a team that we've never played before in the playoffs? AHL teams in round 2 already. Let's see, what we're playing. We're playing Montreal. Oh, of course, we have to go through Montreal. Even though they lost like Cole Caulfield and stuff like that, it is going to be Montreal, who we've had a little bit of a rivalry with in the playoffs before, so that's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening. Our AHL team in round 2 right now is tied at 1. Both games going to overtime so far up to this point. Okay. Let's take a look at this Montreal Canadiens team, what they did during the regular season-wise and playoff-wise so far, and then we'll take a look at their roster. But, of course, we have to go through Montreal again. We finished with 8 more points than them. They were scoring more goals per game than us, so they're a good offensive team. We were a better defensive team. They were worse on the power play, though, and worse on the penalty kill. So we were a better special teams team and defensive team. They were better offensively, 5-on-5. They were very good on home ice, but 500 on the road, which is interesting. You don't normally see teams that are dominant on home ice and more average on the road. Interesting. What about playoff-wise so far? Let's see. Let's go Eastern Conference. I guess that's actually easier. So, they took out their opponents in 5 games. They were scoring more goals per game than us, and they were around the same defensively as us. Interesting. Their power play has been terrible. Ours is 7 for 14. So our power play has been unreal at this point. And our penalty kill has been also very good. So their special teams haven't been good, but their 5-on-5 play has won them games. And like I said, they've only won in 5 games over, I don't know who it was. Let's take a look, actually. Who did they knock out? They knocked out the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that means our former 3 guys, Stajan, Piero Zabottle, and Weber, all got knocked out in 5 games to these Habs. So that's kind of interesting. At least we don't have to face those guys, because I don't know if I would want to face our former guys. But let's take a look at what Montreal's looking like without Caulfield and all that, considering all those guys should be long retired by now. And they do still have some of the same pieces as they've always had against us. Malcolm Spence, Berkeley Catan are still playing, potentially in their last seasons in the NHL, who knows. Rudolph Niederberger. They also have Weston Tuzolino, Kenny Hines, Grayson Leidecker. Third line, Quinton Musty, Magnus Brodin, and Topi Herme. And a fourth line of Cali Rodin, Torsten Hedstrom, and Noel Bieksa. I think a couple of these guys have definitely been there for a while, like Spence, Catan, Niederberger, Hines. I remember Herme as well. Maybe Musty was on this team too. But I'm pretty sure a lot of this team is kind of similar in a way, but they don't have obviously like Cole Caulfield anymore. Slavkovsky's retired too, I think. Defensively, Matthew Poirier, Jerome Talbot, Quinton Esch, Ola Holmquist, Raphael Powell, and Alexandre Vanier. So that's very mid-defensive core. However, a lot of these guys are actually listed as top 4 defenders at this stage, which is interesting. But yeah, that defensive core is not very good. The offense, I would say, is decent. What about goaltending? Ernesto Carcillo and Tucker Perreault is still there after all these years. You'd think this guy would want to be a starter eventually, but he's been just a career backup pretty much to higher up goaltenders. But those goaltenders are pretty good. So they do have good goaltending for that bad defensive core. And in depth-wise, they have Randy DeVoe, Tucker Gibbons, and Kyler Sanford. Don't think I've ever seen any of these guys before. Huh. Okay. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the second round against the Montreal Canadiens as we look to go to the conference finals. And hopefully this year we keep on building upon the last few years where we've been kind of a better team during the regular season. We're kind of focusing on our defense more than our offense, so to speak. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.